Coming in, you guys, it's day number 5 of my Jimmy Ice Bath Challenge. If you have just been joining me today for the very first time, I decided that in the year 2022, I was going to go 365 days in a row of taking an ice bath every single day for 5 minutes a day. So that's the goal for this year. I've been doing this now. Today is day number 5. So real early in this. And so far what I've done is gotten in my Morosco Forge ice bath. And a lot of people have been asking about the Morosco Forge. I'm going to try to get somebody from the Morosco Forge company to come on my podcast. And we will talk about what they have here. But the machine itself makes its own ice. It's got a filtration system and all that. So that's one reason I decided to go with this company is it makes ice, it filtrates the water, it's literally perfect, and then you can control the temperature. So I've been getting in this every day, right around 32, 33 degrees. So today it's right at 33 point something degrees. It fluctuates a little bit here, a degree or two. But when it's 32 or 33, both are very cold. And very much will give me the cold benefits. So, as I've been doing every single day since I started this, and will be doing all throughout the year, I'm going to talk about some aspect of cold therapy. So today, when I get in there, I'm going to talk about how this helps to build resilience, both mentally and physically. So let's get in here. Let's get this show on the road. And let you guys that have not seen me freeze my tushy off. Maybe you've seen some of the reels and things that I've made, but you get to see it live here today if you haven't seen this yet. Oh, I forgot my timer. Right here is the timer. So we will put the 5 minutes on the clock, and I will hit start, and we will get our tushy in here. Okay, it took a little longer today to get me to calm down. When I got in, I was a little more physically freaked out than I typically am. So let's talk about resiliency. Resiliency is where you're able to bounce back from situations that don't seem so pleasant, okay? And for a lot of people, they never build any resiliency at all. They go through life, and when life hits them hard, they freak out. And think about what happens when I first get in the water. Maybe you've noticed this when you do cold showers. When you first get in, your body freaks out. And so when you're freaking out, how do you slow down that sympathetic response in your body? You start breathing in and out, right? So it taught me something really strong. If you do that when you get in a stressor like an ice bath, why don't we do that when we get in situations in our life that are stressful? Think about it for a moment. How did I calm myself down when I first got in this ice bath? I started breathing deeply for about a minute and a half today. And then I was able to start talking to you guys very clearly. Why don't we do that when life hits us hard? Why don't you stop, close your eyes, Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and get through it. And as you do that, you're building such resiliency, such strength that you didn't even know you had. And that's what an ice bath does. Like once you get into 32, 33 degree temperature water like I'm in now, you feel like you're invincible. You feel like you can do literally anything. And you can. You have done hard things so that when hard things hit you in life, you've already done hard things. And so you're prepared mentally, you're prepared physically. I don't think we realize how much we can build up strength. Just like in a gym, lifting weights and getting stronger, I'm building mental strength by being in this ice bath. And it's one of the things that I think is the underrated reasons for doing something like this is you don't know what you're capable of. You don't know how much this is building up such strength that you can use in every part of your life. If you struggle with stress, this will help. If you struggle with being overwhelmed, this will help. If you struggle with not being able to sleep well, this will help. Do you see how something as simple as getting in some ice, yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, you have to go through a little bit of pain, a little bit of struggle. But at the end of it, it's a very temporary struggle for a long-term benefit. And this is what I'm trying to communicate with you guys. Yes, this is not easy, but it's by design not easy. Because if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. If it was easy, I wouldn't be now, 15 seconds away from being in here for 5 minutes. Do you see how fast 5 minutes goes by? It's unbelievable. When I get in here and I look up and now it's suddenly 3, 2, 1, and there it is. That's 5 minutes. You know, and people make the argument, Jimmy, you must be strong. You must be a whole lot more able to handle this than I can because I could never do that, blah, 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 blah. You know, and I'm like, there's nothing special about Jimmy Moore. Literally, there's nothing special about me. I'm just an average Joe like you guys. I'm just somebody who lives my life just like you do. I got a few more eyeballs on me because of my following, but at the end of the day, we're kind of the same people. And I think that's why a lot of you relate to me, because I am an average everyday person. I don't have the physical build of somebody that's supposed to be a health leader, blah, blah, blah. And I'm okay with that, by the way. I don't need to look a certain part. I need to look like Jimmy looks, and this is how I look. But resiliency, you guys, let me just continue what I was saying in the ice. This is such power. And I want you to be able to experience this power. The power to be able to say, you know what? I can do hard things. I can overcome obstacles in my life. Like, look at what's happened the last 2 years. People have fallen apart in their lives. Why? Because they've never challenged themselves. They've never allowed themselves to do hard things when life's not hard, so that when life hits hard, that's now their introduction to hard things. And on the fly, when you're faced with life circumstances that make things hard, you have to scramble to try to figure out how to handle things. Whereas if you expose yourself to some hard things like an ice bath, like going to the gym, like fasting, like all these little things that can challenge you, guess what happens when real life things hit and hit hard? You stay pretty chill. You stay very relaxed. You know how to handle this. And what that is mental resiliency unlike anything you've ever experienced. And it's one of the reasons I've been harping on these ice baths is at least get in a cold shower and train your body that you can do the hard stuff. Because if you can do the hard things when things aren't hard in your life, when things become hard in your life, guess what? They become a little easier. Not easy, but a little easier. And that's what we're trying to all get to. And I feel like if it takes 5 minutes a day in an ice bath to make me harder and stronger and more resilient and able to take on the big things in this world, it's a very small sacrifice. Like literally, I get in there, I breathe for about a minute, minute and a half. I talk to you guys for 3.5 minutes, and then I'm done. And I'm like, I feel like I had just gotten in there when that thing started beeping and it was 5 minutes. I feel like I literally had just gotten into it. Part of that is I've done this a lot. Part of this is I've built up that resilience already to get to this point. But part of it is, look, I enjoyed this. I see it as a means to an end. There's a purpose in mind behind why I do this. And I want you guys to have that purpose for yourself. I'm just getting the fingers, the feeling back in my fingers so I can scroll. I was talking to you because I couldn't touch the screen to scroll back to the top because my hands were hurting so much. But today I did pretty well. I kept my hands all the way open and exposed. Sometimes I'll grip my hands to warm them up a little bit and then let them go. But today I left them open the whole time. I really want to get to that point where the hands aren't so prickly anymore. But let's see what you guys have to say. Going to come back in. Good afternoon, Linda and Sharon. Bulletproof Coconut, go Jimmy, go. Let's see. Go Jimmy, says Tina. Wowzer, you're incredible, says Sharon. Thank you. I just try to show what a real person can do. And again, there's nothing special about me. I'm just a dude. And if I can do this, and I've worked on this for a while, I think literally anybody could do it. Real people like real people, says Tina. Yeah. Look, I try to be as authentic with you guys as possible. I don't hide anything. It's so funny how people are like, Jimmy Moore hides his weight. No, he doesn't. I show my belly every day on camera on this challenge. And unashamed, by the way. I don't know any skinny people that would be willing to do this like I'm doing right now. I guarantee you. So they can take their scrawny ass somewhere else because I will keep getting in there. Kyla says, I stood in the shower last night after the warm part in medium cold water for about a minute. Yes, you go. Yes, that is how you do it. And look, if you did a medium cold, which we'll just call little under warm, that's great. Look, that's a start. And you did it at the end of your shower, perfect. And if you could get to 2 minutes and get it to a little cooler and do that right before bedtime, you're going to find it will help you sleep very well. Like literally, it's 5 o'clock here now. I will be in bed within the next 2 to 3 hours. And you guys see my sleep data. I post it every single day. And since I've been doing this 5 minutes in the ice bath since the beginning of the year, I don't think I've had less than 2.5 hours of deep sleep every single night. It's just been rocking. And there was one, I'm really trying to get to 3 hours. That would be cool to get 3 hours of deep sleep and 2 hours of REM or an hour and a half of REM. But I would love to get 3 hours of deep. But I always get over most of the time around 2.5 hours of deep sleep. And it's so restful when you get that deep sleep. Courtney says, are there benefits to just go outside in the cold? I've been trying out watching the sunrise outside. It's been about 15 to 25 degrees here. I definitely come in shivering. Yes, to answer your question, yes. And those of you that watch me do my walk and talk, which I haven't been doing as many of them because I'm just overwhelmed with book writing, podcasting, back in my regular schedule, doing all these ice bath videos. I've just got a lot on my plate, so I haven't given up on the walk and talks, and I'm still walking. I'm just not able to go live. I need a little bit of time down from doing stuff. But I'll do it out in the cold. And I've been out there with it as cold as like 27, and I'm in shorts and t-shirt, walking in that. And so, yes, you do get some benefits of cold thermogenesis just being exposed to the colder weather. There's just something about being in hydro-based cold, though. So getting in cold water, in a shower, in an ice bath, and I'm starting to shiver, so work with me here. If I start to, if you hear my voice, do this. But shivering's normal. Remember, I've told you all about this. It's how your body starts to naturally warm you up. Somebody said, can I jump in a hot shower or jump in a sauna as soon as I get out of the ice bath? I'm like, well, you kind of defeat the purpose. You want your body to warm you back up. That's how you get the metabolic benefits. And so, no, don't do that. But, yeah, you kind of want to get exposed to the cold water if at all possible. But yes, to answer your question, you are getting some benefits from being in the cold and having cold exposure in 15 to 25 degrees. Obviously, if you're bundled up, you're not getting great benefits. But if you're exposing skin and exposing your body, obviously you don't want to get frostbite and stay out too long. But I do love the idea that you're watching the sunrise, because that early sun hitting your eyeball is actually helping your sleep later in the day. So this is one of the keys to getting really good sleep, is not just getting cold therapy towards bedtime, but getting sunlight in your eyes before 10 a.m. If you're not already getting sunlight to hit your eyes before 10 a.m., your brain doesn't know that it's the morning time. But if you do that, you're telling your brain, okay, clock is on, setting your circadian rhythm so that by the time the sun goes down, your body is feeling that boost in the melatonin so that you can sleep and sleep well. So good job, by the way, Courtney, that you're doing that. Kyla says, I'll get there for sure. Hey, you just started. And I think the fact that you were willing to turn it down to a cooler temperature after you shower, that's great. Look, that's the baby steps I was talking about. And look, you might be at that temp for another week or 2 weeks. That's okay. This is not a marathon. I've worked on this for 3 years, and I'm very much shivering right now. So I can feel every part of me quaking and shivering, and it's wonderful. I love that feeling, because what I feel when I feel my belly especially starting to what I feel is it's loosening up body fat. And it is. It helps to rev up the metabolism. I'll talk more about that in another video, but it's powerful, you guys, when you expose yourself like this. But get to that level, little by little. And Kyla, you're doing a great job. I was wondering about the walk and talks. Yeah, I did one on Saturday. I'm going to try to get in at least once a week, and if I can, twice a week. So probably over the weekend is when I'll be able to do another walk and talk, maybe Saturday or Sunday. I think Saturday it's supposed to be pouring down rain, so I don't want to do it in the rain. But just, yeah, work with me. It's a really busy time for me right this moment, but I'm not giving up on them. I do enjoy doing the walk and talks as well, but I am committing to being on camera with this ice bath every day. So you're getting a little bit of inspiration from here too. Sharon says, may I ask what apparatus is behind your shoulder? Right there? Is that what you're talking about? That is an inverted table. So I've got some low back issues. And so when you have low back issues, you put your feet in that little thing at the bottom, you lay down on it, and you literally flip upside down. And it opens up all the vertebra in your back. And so it's pretty cool. I enjoy the inverted table, and there's an infrared sauna, there's a massage chair, and right next to that, you can't see it, but it's the vibration plate. I got my red light therapy, the Juve light. I've got a hot tub out that window. You see the Morozko Jimmy has his toys. This is Jimmy's little the Moore spa. So Cherish says, ice, ice, ice. Yes, it is very chilly, Cherish. What are your thoughts on going outside and breathing deeply the cold air while having a cold or a chest cold, says Tina. Look, I'm not a doctor. I would not recommend you do anything when you're sick. They do say to avoid being in the cold because that'll give you a cold. And it's like, I've never understood how that worked. Why being in cold, other than it would depress your immune system. But what I'm thinking is, I wonder if it depends on the exposure, how long you're exposed to that cold, and whether that lowers your immune system. I think what lowers our immune system more than anything is the poor food choices that we make, the bad lifestyle choices, like that, not enough sleep. We stress too much. We don't love other people and are kind. Those things all add up. So I don't know is the answer to your question. I don't know. But I do know that if you've got a cold, just get through that cold. Hello, watching you from South Africa. Thank you, Edna. Appreciate that. Courtney says, yep, sleep is what I'm trying to optimize right now, that my baby is almost sleeping through the night. Yes, it's so powerful. I don't sleep long. So those of you that look at my sleep data, I sleep about 6 hours a night. Not long at all. And of course, when you eat for ketosis, you don't need a lot of sleep, at least length of sleep. You want quality of sleep. Well, guess what? Of that 6 hours of sleep that I get, 3.5 to 4 of it, and sometimes over 4 of it, is REM and deep sleep. So that's what you want, is the restorative sleep. Now, the Oura Ring dings me because I only get 6 hours of sleep. But I will take 65 to 70% of my sleep coming from deep and REM because of the ice baths, because of the magnesium that I take. I take CBD oil. I do a lot of things to help with my sleep. And yeah, it's immeasurable, all these things. But this ice bath, I got my friend Brittany now taking a cold shower before she goes to bed. She's been struggling. I'm like, adding cold thermogenesis is going to help you, I promise. Jessica says, I'm interested in the metabolism and the ice bath. Yes, I will be talking about that very soon. But in short, it helps to rev up your metabolism. I promise you right now, all this shivering that's happening right now in my belly, it's helping with the metabolism. There is this thing, thermogenesis is what they call that. And so when you allow your body to get cold and then it has to warm itself back up, that is revving your metabolism up. I will talk much more extensively about that in another day. I've got 365 days to do content with, so I will get to that in due course, I promise. And I will be trying to interview some people about cold therapy, the Morosco Forge people and some others that have reached out to me. So stay tuned. We'll have more on that. David says, you're so cool. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Courtney says, I'm purposely going out in shorts and a tank top in the cold weather. It wakes me up better than a hot shower ever did. Yeah. Look, I get mocked a lot because I wear shorts and t-shirt on my walk and talk when it's like 30 degrees, 27 degrees. And oh my gosh, aren't you going to get sick? And oh my gosh. I'm like, no, I'm trying to get cold. I don't want to be warm. I want the body to be cooled down. One thing I have not done, by the way, is when I've been out there and it's been sub-freezing, when I get back, getting into the ice bath with that cold body temperature. That would be interesting because today I struggled a little bit when I first got in. I was having trouble to calm down. Maybe you didn't notice, but I went a little longer than I normally do, breathing, trying to calm down. But I wonder what would happen if I got back from my walk and my body temp is pretty cool, and then I get into the ice bath. Would I acclimate to it better? I don't know. And I also want to do the thermometer thing. In fact, let me test my temperature while I'm here. See if this thing still works. Are you working? There you go. Is it working? I don't think it's working. Hang on a second. But I wanted to put the temperature in there. I wanted to see how much my body temperature changed. Wow. You can see where it's warming up. I know it's backwards, but it says 99.5. You can actually see right now. Oh, I definitely have to do the temperature challenge now. You can see where my body is trying to warm itself up to the point that I'm now low-grade fever, my body trying to get my body to warm up. How cool is that? Okay, now I'm really curious. I want to, one of these days that I go in there, I want to take my temperature before I get in and then have it in my mouth and take it while I'm in there and then take it again as I'm warming back up. Now, that's interesting. I did not expect to see 99.5. Now, I'm not feverish, but I'm getting warmer because my body has been shivering. That's fascinating, guys. I literally did not expect that. I've never done that getting out of a cold therapy. Redeemed Carnivore says, when I was young, every time I played in the water hose in the summer and got my head wet, I was sick. Well, yeah. And that's during the summer. Of course, the water hose might have had some bacteria in it. Some of those hoses, the water would sit idle, and then you pour that water that's been sitting idle and heating up in the sun and creating bacteria. Maybe that's why you got sick. Who knows? But yeah, guys, there's so much to talk about with this challenge this year. I hope you stick around. I've been trying to do it in the afternoon before I go to bed, about a couple hours before I go to bed, 2-3 hours. So I'll be in bed within the next 2 to 3 hours from now. And yeah, so thanks for watching live. If you're watching on the replay, I do post these on YouTube and on Facebook. And of course, here on Instagram, we post the videos. So thank you for watching if you miss any of the lives. But I've got so much I want to talk about with this subject of cold thermogenesis, cold therapy, ice baths. Hang on to your hats. If this is something that's interesting to you, or if you have any specific questions about a topic related to this that you want me to address, like the metabolism question from earlier, just drop in my DMs on Instagram, Living Low Carb Man, and I would be happy to address this. Like I said, I've got 365 days that I need to fill content with. So I'm enjoying about a half an hour talking to you guys each and every day. So thank you for joining me here. I'm going to go get out of these wet clothes and dry off. And then I've got some things to do. I'm going to take my CBD, take my magnesium, and go to bed here in the next couple of hours. So you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everyone.